And welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Brant.
I'm Lisa.
And this is Brant versus Lisa, Rated and Ranked. This is the series where we rate and rank the books that we picked in the previous one, anticipated. And basically how that works, if you're new to this, is we each pick a book that we want to read, we each pick a book that we want the other one to read, and we each pick a book together, and then we read those and we rate and rank them. So here we are.
And for the second week, I managed to read them all.
Yeah, so that's good. It's got her reading again, and we're having fun with it. So we got our lists here, and we got them all rated and ranked, and it's going to be very interesting. Just to run down the books that we are talking about, we've got Doctor Who, the 13th Doctor, number 3. We've got Die, number 2. DuckTales, number 16. Young Justice, number 1. And Captain Marvel, number 1. Those are the 5 books that we chose for this week. Yeah. And so here we go. We'll let you start, and I think I started last time.
Okay. My number 5 is the one that I wanted you to read. It's DuckTales.
Guess what? That's my number 5 too.
It was cute in places. The art I really liked. The lettering I didn't like. It was hard to follow in places. And the story felt convenient or rushed or weird.
Yeah.
A little weird.
I didn't care for all the dialogue either. I don't know. Some of it was just, and like you said, the reading order was a little hard to follow at times. Yeah. And the
stacking of words annoyed me in a few places. And
there was a little bit of, I don't know how to put this, over characterization. Like they were trying a little too hard. Maybe. I don't know. And some of it was a little too simplistic too. Yeah. I don't know.
It was, some of the plot points were a little too simple for me. Like the thing that they needed was that thing that shrunk her.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that was gonna fix the whole problem. Yeah. It was too convenient, and even for a kid's book.
And it also made her feel special conveniently. Yeah, it was a little very on the nose. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. Would you rate it?
Oh, I forgot to rate. So, let's see. I'm gonna do it on the fly then.
Okay.
2.5.
Oh wow.
I really like the art.
I actually gave it a 3.
You did?
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I probably could be a 3.
I was trying to be fair.
Yeah.
Because I went into this not wanting to read this book, so I was trying to be fair, and I do like the art. I thought it was cute, and I think overall the characters were on model.
Yeah, I haven't watched enough of the show to know.
That's true.
Like they're trying to differentiate the
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, a lot, but nephews. I don't know them enough yet to know if they got it right.
Those versions of them, yeah. Exactly, the same thing. But at least they made the effort. But you only really got to hear 2 of them talk. The other one was just kind of there. Yeah,
he kept saying something for that because of what happened in the last issue, but we didn't read the last issue.
Yeah, it was some callback catchphrase thing that we had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I thought it was a one of, and I was wrong. It sort of continued. Just a little.
It said at the very beginning, this story, you joined the story in progress or something like that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So my number 4 is Die, number 2, which which I gave 3 1/4 star. So just above DuckTales. Okay. This issue I thought was a little bit slower than the first issue, and even though there was some progression and some character moments, I felt like the majority of the issue was that narration, and it took me out of it a little bit because it was like very explanatory narration. It was like, this is what I'm thinking now. This is what this character is doing. And it's like, it was a chore for me to read this one, and I wanted to like it so much more. I love the art. The art is gorgeous in this book, but I was having a hard time getting into it. It could have been when the time I read it. I don't know.
Okay.
So, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
I read them all back to back, 1
all
through 3,
issues,
and it was super quick. He told me it would be a quick read, and it took me the time to read those 3 that it took me to read Die.
Yeah, it's a very quick book.
As the art, I like the art. I don't love it when it's so realistic. You can tell like the actors, and I'd rather it be a little more cartoony in my comics, but or just the face that she was being, like curling up her nose and stuff. It was just like too detailed.
Yeah, those I agree with you. Sometimes those were overdone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I liked it. I actually like when it's a popular show that I know. I like them to be on model like that. Yeah. Like when I read Firefly, I want that to be Nathan Fillion in that book.
I don't know why it bothered me in this one. It was probably just it was too much in those few panels where they were catching her likeness too much.
Okay. What would you rate this one? You have DuckTales 2.5.
3.5.
3.5?
I didn't hate it.
Okay.
But I just like the other stuff better.
Okay. So that was your number 4. That was my number 4.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's my number 3 is Doctor Who. And I gave it a 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm harsher than you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm enjoying this version of the Doctor. And I think it's a fun story, but again, it is a very quick read. The story is very, even though this is a continued story through all 3 issues, it's and that's not usually the case with Doctor Who. It's usually done in one with an overarching plot that kind of ties everything together. But this one was kind of a continued story, but still, it feels like it's very wrapped up in a nice little bow really quickly, I think. I don't know. I enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I don't love the villain of the story. That was my main problem. It was like, I went from DuckTales to to that, and it was like Scrooge McDuck if he was evil.
Yeah, that's
like
a good
the
point.
Collector. And
it is kind of like Marvel's Collector, only he's a slaver. But I like the message in it. There's always a message in Doctor Who, and I think they got the characters right.
Yeah, I do think they really did.
Yeah,
the characters were spot on. So.
Okay, so what was your number 3?
My number 3 was Young Justice.
Oh.
Because I couldn't remember what happened. So I figured I didn't like it as much as the other one. I had to ask him what happened.
Yeah.
For some reason, those bigger team books, I forget by the end of the week. Like who was in it and what exactly. I think the same thing happened with, what's the other one that we just read last week.
You trying to ask me about last week's book?
I'm sorry.
I don't remember. I don't know.
It was a new team, Champions.
Oh, Champions, yeah.
So,
well, to be fair, Champions had like 50,000 characters in it.
Yeah. But I had never heard of Jenny Hex.
Well, I hadn't either. It's Jonah Hex.
I figured it was
Jonah
Hex, I
but
figured. But I don't know the DC characters quite as well as the Marvel ones.
So that makes sense.
For me, it was a little.
Yeah, I'm a big Young Justice fan, and I'm a big Jeff Johns Teen Titans fan, and it's a lot of the same characters, so I liked it a little bit more than you.
I liked it, so 3.5.
Yeah, so that's your number 3, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go on to your number 2. You'll do number 2 first.
My number 2 is Captain Marvel.
Okay. That is also my number 2, by the way. So we'll just go ahead and talk about that. What did you rank it? I gave it a 4.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
After sitting here pondering. I liked it a lot, but I liked the last one better. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. This is interesting because Jay and I had a conversation, and we're probably going to be talking about this on Frontline Live over on Kombat Frontline in depth because I'm pretty sure it's going to land on somebody's top 5. The thing about it for me is, and I'm a fan of Kelly Thompson. I really like West Coast Avengers. I like Hawkeye. I liked her Mockingbird series. I like a lot of the stuff that she does. But at times she can be a little heavy-handed. And I was really into this book. I was loving it. I was like, this is the first time I've liked Captain Marvel in years. I mean, tons of years. I did not like previous runs. And then we get to the point where the villain's introduced. And I'm like, no, it completely killed the story for me. This probably would have been my number 1 above Young Justice. And I probably would have given it a very high rating until that villain where it's a misogynist who thinks women should stay in the kitchen, basically. And, Captain Marvel's the one that's got to fight him because he takes out all the men.
Yeah.
And now she's going to another world where she's forming a group of women, and it just felt so heavy-handed and forced.
That is kind of the reason that I didn't rank it number 1 also, but not so much the villain, but the world that they got sucked into.
Yeah.
It felt really apocalyptic world, and I hate that kind of story.
Yeah.
So we'll see going forward if I like it as much. I liked this one a lot because I read Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
Before when she was in it.
I really liked her in this book.
Yeah, and it felt like that did when I was reading it, the relationship that they had.
Yeah.
And it was when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
That's when I was reading it.
Yeah.
And So, and then I like the stuff with Tony, and I like that they brought Hazmat in.
They got so many things right.
Yeah.
They got Carol right. They got Rhodey right. They got Jessica right. Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman. Yeah. They got Hazmat and Tony. All these characters right. It was all perfect until that moment. And then it was like, it just felt like an agenda. And I hate it when, if it was subtle, whatever. If this was a couple of arcs down the road, fine. But to lead off, I just think Captain Marvel is so much more than that. And it disappointed me a little bit. So,
well, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I have high hopes.
So, so no secret, my number one is Young Justice, which I gave 4 1/4. I didn't actually absolutely fall in love with the book, but I did really enjoy it. It was fun for me to see Superboy and Impulse and Tim Drake Robin and Wonder Girl back. We haven't seen Wonder Girl in a while. We haven't seen Impulse and Superboy since before the New 52. Well, there was mention of Bart Allen, but it wasn't the same Bart Allen. So Jay explained all this on Zone 4 last. But we haven't seen those characters in a long time. I'm concerned about the de-aging and what Bendis is going to do with them, what version of these characters we're getting. I'm not completely sold on the new characters, Jenny Hex and Teen Lantern. I
forgot about Teen Lantern.
Yeah, so which just came out of nowhere, and we didn't really get to know her that well. Yeah. So there's different elements of this, but the coming back together of the Young Justice team / Jeff Johns' Teen Titans team was just like, I've been waiting for this for so long for these characters to be back together that it was so exciting for me. And you're adding Amethyst, which you're familiar with. Yeah. And I thought it was a really cool reintroduction to the series, so I enjoyed it.
I did like Wonder Girl, but I've never seen her before. This is the first time.
Really?
So I was...
Well, you watched Young Justice.
Was she in it that I watched?
Oh, no, she came in later. You're right.
I haven't gotten there
yet. Yeah, you haven't gotten there yet. That's right.
So, I'm interested to see what her deal is.
Yeah.
That was weird.
She is Zeus's granddaughter.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah.
Or something. They said something about Zeus.
She used to be Zeus's daughter. Now, retcon, she's Zeus's granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
But that technically makes her Wonder Woman's niece in a way, sort of. So you get that whole thing. But anyway, your number one.
My number one was Die number 2, and it may be that because I read them back to back. And he told me originally that I might have trouble following the first issue, and I only had one little problem. When they changed one of the characters' names, like he was being called by his last name at the beginning, and then it changed to his first name. So I thought it was a different character. But once I realized that, I get why the narration, I guess, happens because it's D&D type, so that doesn't bother me. And I like, it's silly, but I like Jumanji. So it's like a fantasy Jumanji thing, and I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I like the series.
Yeah.
It's just that issue, and again, it could have been the time I read it. I told her specifically, don't read this if you're tired.
Yeah, and I waited until I was in the right mind frame.
It's quite possible I wasn't, but either way,
It ended very strangely, but it grossed me out a little bit, but it also was a way to show you how high stakes things are in the land that they're in.
If her losing her arm in the first issue wasn't high stakes enough for you. So no, it's an interesting series, especially if you're a D&D or fantasy fan.
Yeah.
Alright, so those are our rankings for these 5 comics. If you'd like to, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe and notification bell so you get updates in your subscription box every time new content goes up to this channel. And follow the Brant vs. Lisa playlist for more Brant vs. Lisa. We'll be back on Tuesday with our anticipated for next week. And you can follow me on social media at Brant Fowler, on Facebook and Twitter, at Last Ember Press on Instagram.
And you can find me at Keeping It Kawaii on Instagram and Little Victories YT on YouTube.
Yeah, check out zone4podcast.com, lastemberpress.com, and comicfrontline.com, where we'll be talking more in depth about some of these books on Tuesday night. So tune in for that. And thank you everybody for watching.
They're all very opinionated.
Yes, we are. We talk a lot. We talk a lot right now. 15 minutes.
So. We were going to try to cut it down even.
We didn't.
There's a little bit in there we're going to cut out.
Just a little bit.
A blooper.
Just a little bit. It might still end up in the video though. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
And what's the other one? I just totally lost it.
I thought you said them all. Did we say Doctor Who?
Okay, I'm gonna redo that part.
Oh.
Edit it. Okay.
How'd you get my hair on there already?
Looper. Okay.